What you're about to listen to is a complete and total experiment. It could be good, it could be bad, but goddamn, mostly it's going to make you want to say rawr, dye your hair, straighten it out, and feel just a little bit early 2000s emo. This is Emotives. Enter at your own risk.
Okay, so this is called Curtain Calls and Heart Falls from That's So Random, one of my multiple little albums, whatever you want to call them. So here we go. And on nights like this, I look up into the skies, and I wonder if you're seeing the same stars in your eyes. Because if we are both staring at the same thing, it's almost like we're standing in the same scene. But at last, it's not the same. An ode to what is a shame. Because on the dance floor of my thoughts, you're the ballerina center stage. But in the novel of your heart, you won't find my name inked on any page. I can't think of anything without your tippy toes dancing on my thoughts, the spotlight's on you. You get a standing ovation every time, what can I say, the crowd adores you. Even though if I gave you tickets, you wouldn't even attend my show. You wouldn't even check to see if you were free, you would just say no. This is the person that I would give everything and more. This is the person that I'm busting my ass for, and this is the person I can no longer endure. Like I said before, you can choose who you date, not who you heart. Choices made by feelings, not by what is smart. I can't see the sad ending when it's heralded with the beautiful start, because you can't see the whole picture when you're focused on one part.
How's it going, everyone?
What up, guys? Welcome to a special edition of Yo, Where the Captions At? Emo.
It's you're old. It's big. It's time for big boy, your old boy Daniel. Today we have a special thing for you. As the editor-in-chief of Yo, Where the Captions At in the Escaping Network, it is my proud and most embarrassing privilege to present to you a spin-off from Yo, Where the Captions At. Do you remember when you had highlights in your hair? Do you remember when you wore fingerless gloves?
Nope.
Do you remember when your MySpace had all the drama about who was in your top 8?
Or your
Yes.
girlfriend's jeans.
Yeah. Well,
Wait, you wore your girlfriend's jeans?
My friends did. I didn't have a girlfriend.
Oh, so they weren't wearing your girlfriend's jeans. They were wearing their girlfriend's
Don't
jeans.
forget-
I just wore my
Don't
sister's
forget
jeans.
the painted thumbnails.
Now, this is a new segment, and it's a little bit of a spin-off. We'll release it separately, but this is Emotives, the emo blurb for all of your things.
Yes. For all those out there on Facebook that said they would listen to us if we created an emo podcast, well, be careful what you wish for. Because now you got this bitch. So you better listen to it.
And for all those that say you stopped following me or put me on mute on Facebook way back when I was just typing random things but y'all thought it was emo-ish, guess what? Y'all gotta listen to this podcast now.
So with that, you heard Kelsey's poem. Let me tell you a little story, and then we'll switch it over to Randall. I was about 14 or 15 years old, and I was very much into the scene, the fingerless gloves, the X'd out hands, the MySpace RARs, but I was missing something very important, and that was the straight hair. Now, I'm not one of those white boys who it would look natural on. In fact, I'm brown, and it doesn't look as good as you might imagine. But there I was. I found my sister's straightener. It was just before school, and I thought, today's the day. And I straightened my shaggy hair. I put on my gloves. I went out there. The eyeliner was thick. The pants were tight. And the shoes were bulky.
Please tell me there's photos of that.
Please tell me.
Was it prom night?
No, I'll tell you guys that story later.
Vampire Prom?
No, I'll tell you guys
Was
that
that the name of it, man?
I'll tell you guys that story let me finish my goddamn story. I'll tell you guys that story at Nova. I did it. My hair was straight. I looked just like I sang for
30 Seconds to Mars?
let me fucking finish my story.
I didn't think you... I thought that was a comma.
Yeah, it's a comma, but a comma goes
Oh,
with
your
the-
comma, not my comma to input. Okay, I'm sorry.
I fucking hate you.
No, that's what I thought it was going to be, but never mind.
I look like I sang for We Three Kings or Paramore, something like that. Escape the Fate.
I'm sorry we.
Hold on, let me goddamn tell my story. Hold on. No, goddamn it. God fucking hate you guys. We Three Kings, Paramore, or Escape the Fate. I went to school with all the confidence I could muster, and as soon as people saw it, their faces changed, and I noticed that after like the 6th person. So when my girlfriend at the time came up and asked what I did differently, I had just conditioned my hair, and that was the only thing that was different. The conditioner made it soft, the conditioner made it smooth, and the conditioner made it silky. And I kept this lie up for a year. Afterwards, we would break up, I'd leave high school, but at one high school reunion, everyone brought it up. Daniel, we all know you didn't condition your hair. You straightened it, and we're a little disappointed that you didn't straighten it today. And then they beat me up, and I cried, and I was sad.
Wait,
And
for
it was
real?
my, no, not for real.
Okay.
Shit.
Damn, bro.
You got beat up because you didn't straighten your
By
hair
a bunch of
for
adults.
class
By a
reunion.
bunch of adults with kids. Yeah, they're like,
Adults-
"Fuck you."
Those are the worst.
Yeah, those are.
Yeah.
10-year high school
Oh.
reunion?
Mm-hmm.
When was that for you? Like this year? Last
year.
Last year?
Yeah,
And that was the
Guess
story?
mine's
that
coming.
was the story.
Word.
Awesome.
I wish I had been true to myself.
Mine's in like 2 years.
I wish I would have made Gerard Way proud.
Or it could have been hot like 98 degrees and being true to your heart.
I'll tell you the story of when I tried to dye my hair blood red on another one of these blurbs.
On a blood moon?
No, it was bad. Randy,
Can you hear me? Is what I said to her. After she broke my fucking heart. And I broke some of hers too.
Please don't say her face.
I'm not gonna tell you what it was.
Oh, Lord.
But let's just say I don't think she could hear me. Let me start from the beginning. No, I'm just kidding. That's all a lie. I didn't hurt anyone, so I got hurt. I'll start from the beginning now. I was in... fucking grade was that? I was living in Oklahoma. I was probably 11th grade. Yeah, it was definitely 11th grade. And I was in love with this girl. And we were friends, you know, that whole friend zone deal. And one day she was like, let's do ecstasy together. And this is Oklahoma, so it wasn't like very good ecstasy. But we go to this guy's house. We take these ecstasy tablets and nothing happens. And I think I'm thinking, you know, tonight's the night though. You know, I'm not drugged up or anything like that. But you know, hey, tonight's the night. I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna tell her how I feel. And so I'm acting, you know, a little emo, playing my guitar a little bit. No one's rolling or anything like that because the drugs don't work. And so she notices and she texts me, are you okay, and all that shit. And so I text her back, you know, like, I'm okay, whatever. And then she's like, well, do you want to talk? And I was like, yeah, sure. So we go out to her car and we're talking and I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. It's just, I'm in love with you. And I give her the whole speech, you know. It's all super fucking heartfelt. And then at the end of my big revealing speech, I'm like, well, what do you think? And she's like, well, I think I want you to kiss me. But it doesn't end there. Then we make out, which was fun. One of the happiest moments of my life. Big accomplishment. And then we play it cool the rest of the night. You know, she takes me home, and we go home separately and all that. Give her a kiss goodnight. Next day, I'm hanging out with my friends, and we're just, like, getting really fucked up, drinking beer, and I think she's, like, visiting her grandparents or something like that. And I text her. I'm like, hey, how's your day going? First thing she texts me back is, we should talk about last night. Which, you know, obviously instantly means, oh, you have regrets.
Yep.
And so we proceed to text, and she proceeds to tell me that she didn't mean anything that she said, that she was just on drugs, and it was a mistake. And obviously, you know, being a 17, 16-year-old man, I took it on the chin, such as one, and I didn't cry at all. I didn't immediately get into my car and blast brand new The Boy Who Blocked His Own Shot and cried during the entire duration of the song. If it makes you less sad, I will die by your hands. Hope you find out what you want. I already know that I am. That didn't happen. Instead, I chugged a Sam Adams and said, "Bitches be bitches."
Yep.
And then I cried some more, actually. And yeah. Call me a safe bet.
The breakdown that got him.
Broke my heart.
Go ahead, girl.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to hand it over to Roscoe now.
Ooh, dang. Which plethora of emo stories do I have to pull out my handbook of the life called Roscoe? I'm going to go with one called Crushing Someone That Has a Crush on Your Cousin. It's a great one.
Are we giving titles to these stories?
No.
We don't have to.
Okay.
But there was an era of the well-known Smart Tech crew where we would just, spend time just at night chilling, randomly drinking with other folks. One peculiar night ended up with a night where me and my cousin Kev ended up at female friend's crib playing Uno. Around my birthday, people that know me, my birthday's the day before Valentine's Day. Ends up, these cousins, one I had a crush on.
Is that February 13th?
Yes, sir.
Okay, my ex-girlfriend, her birthday is the day after Valentine's
Shut
Day.
the fuck up, Randy.
Aw, yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's all great, Rans. But we playing Uno, come to the decision, yo, why don't us four ain't got Valentine's? My cousin has a crush on this chick. So they decide to be a Valentine's group. I have a crush on her cousin. We decide to be a group. She goes all out. We do this whole Valentine's thing together. Come to find out the next day, after Valentine's, she has a confession to tell me. I've already told her how I like her, this, that, and third. She done did the most ever for me on a Valentine's gift. Like a big old Valentine's note. Big old Valentine's card, teddy bear, this and that and third. I've never really gotten this for Valentine's gifts. But, come to find out, the whole entire time she has a crush on my cousin. Her cousin doesn't take the chance on my cousin because she respects the girl code because her cousin told her that she has a crush on him. Whole fucked up of a Valentine's because two people that had a crush on each other, that like each other, can't make the move on each other. I can't make the move on the chick that I like because she has a crush on my cousin. So we just spent Valentine's Day doing the most for each other, not realizing that ain't nothing gonna happen past this situation. Good old day after my birthday.
Is that the story?
Oh, yes, that is the story.
Wow. Love, betrayal, trust, tongues, butts, family.
Hey.
Let's go ahead and give it
All
to
good
Kelsey
happens.
for our final entry into
Twilight Zone.
the Twilight Zone.
I'm gonna keep this one kind of short. I could go more in depth, but before there was Catfish, there was a story that I went through, a tale in my life. Normally, most of these tales always starts with Roscoe's influence, because back in the day, back in the time during the MySpace, there was another website called My Yearbook, and Ross put me onto My Yearbook. So I was on My Yearbook, and I met this little emo chick. I was like 21 at the time. She was 19. We chatted for about like 2 months. It was going back and forth, She talked about how she liked the Springs and what she liked to do, things like that. Situations with her friends, fam, and things of that nature. And then it just came to the point, like, we were trying to meet up. So I was like, hey, yo, you live at this part of the town? Well, I'm already in this part of the town. So how about we kick it? Then it became the excuses. Like, oh, no, I can't. This came up with my friends or my ex. So I was like, all right, cool. And mind you, while this happening, this is also in a later part of the Smart Tech days. So I wasn't out here just telling my boys, like, yo, I met this girl online and we might be hanging out, so I can't. I'm like, no, I kept it to myself, but I played it very smart. So it's like, whatever we're doing, I invite her to some things in the area. So if she was free, she could come through there. If not, I didn't have to tell nobody why I wasn't there. So yeah, so it just came to a time point where it got a little frustrating because she kept talking about how she wanted to meet up and she never could, but she never wanted to send me pictures or we could never just see each other. So I was like, you know what? All right, whatever. And then it was one of those days when she brought up the fact like she couldn't do XYZ because of a dance. And I'm sitting there like, yo, that doesn't add up. This, that, and the third. And long story short, she told me, it's like, yo, I'm sorry. I got to tell the truth. Because it was like little things. Like, she was talking about how she had a guy, but she didn't. And her moms would, like, let her do certain things. But she's basically like, yo, I got to let you know, like, I don't really live in Springs. I actually live in Utah. I'm not really 19. I'm 16 years old. Then I was like, the fuck? She's like, yeah, the only reason, like, I knew all these places because I used to live in the Springs, but we moved. But you're, like, a real good guy. I didn't want to keep this story going along, yada, yada, yada. So it's like, oh, shit, word. She's like, yeah. And then I totally, like, stopped talking to her and shit like that. But it's, like, one of those weird things. Like, people always make the comment like, oh, how can you, like, fall for somebody over the internet? I'm not saying I fail, but you can create a relationship or an understanding or a vibe with somebody through communication, because these are words. Because if you're texting somebody and they're telling you things that you want to hear or they understand where you're coming from, and other people around you or not, you create this certain connection. Like, no, I wasn't going to leave the Springs or run away with her or anything like that, but it was still to the point like, no, I enjoyed having a conversation with her, and I thought I was connecting to a person, which I really wasn't. And, like, yeah, so that shit happened, and then it was funny, too. Like, months after that, she hit me up like, hey, where you at? The Walmart off Powers? I was like, no. She's like, well, I was in the Springs and I thought I saw you, so I thought I would just say something. I was like, well, it wasn't me, and no.
Bye.
So yeah. So that's my emo story. And
That's because she's playing with you.
oh well, yeah, that's what part of catfish. She was the worm, or I was the worm and she was the catfish, or whatever way you want to reverse that metaphor. But yeah, it was like 2 years before the Catfish movie was created, and me and Ross always wanted to watch that movie, but we didn't even watch the movie till actually the series was coming out. Then we found out, we found out the series based on that movie. Then we actually watched the movie. Then I'm like, oh shit, I was Catfish before Catfish came out.
And it probably wasn't even a 16-year-old girl. It was probably like a 69-year-old guy living in, like, Wyoming, Utah.
Are you referring to the movie?
No, I'm talking about your experience.
No. Well, then again.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, well, then again, I can't say
Exactly.
that you're wrong. It could have been a whole man.
Trailers make it look like it was a horror movie.
And that's what got us interested
That's what got
into
us
the movie.
interested.
Kind of is I mean, the way, like, it feels, it kind of is like a...
It's like a real life horror movie.
It felt like a horror movie.
It's like
then
suspense.
When you get to the plot twist, I'm like, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
Still suspenseful enough to think that, like, some crazy.
It's pretty fucked up, though, at the end, because of, like, the disabled, like, daughter or the son or whatever.
Yeah.
Where it's like this old lady who, like, just has this, like, kind of terrible life. Like, she's got, like, disabled kid. Her, like, fucking, she doesn't do shit, you know. She got, like, a boring ass life that she's got to take care of her family. And she's like, well, you know, I just fucking get on the internet and fuck with all these people. And that's...
Because my son's fucked up and I don't have a man, so I gotta live my fantasies vicariously through these fake individuals.
Yeah.
Which is
weird.
It is weird as fuck, but that's the power of technology, and it's like a first world issue. Because I don't think people out there in the middle of the Serengeti or in the Amazon rainforest or in Ethiopia just have the luxury to use their imagination with the tech at their disposal to create these alternate lives. No, they just have to deal with this shit, and it just should show us how lucky we are to be alive in America.
Yeah, some people
in
are
a fucked up
bored.
way, but
People are bored. And
Word.
They want to get emotional responses out of people, and there's always innovative new ways to do it, especially with the internet.
hell yeah. So
Dude,
Ross,
I can
oh
do
my
that
fault.
shit tomorrow. I could start a fake thing.
And it's the new hustle too, especially with dudes like, hey guy, you never gonna meet me, but I'm a sexy woman. Would you like to give me money? Sure. And you just use stock footage of some other bitch on Instagram or Reddit. You just use fake body parts and just send it to him, and you get somebody, some guy out there
take a
that's lonely and
picture
desperate. Yeah, elbow meat.
Elbow meat.
Hell yeah, somebody's gonna pay money for that because that's the world that we live in.
Post a picture of like a raw steak.
Yes, the pink will make you think. You listen to this whole thing. Don't
catfish.
Oh yeah, moral of the story: don't catfish. Don't be that person. Live your truth. You know, Captain America didn't get frozen in that ice for us to be out here doing this bullshit.
I think more of the story. Tell people how you feel before they end up investing too much.
Yeah, be straight up.
Exactly.
Be honest.
And with that being said, I'm yours truly, Kels for Show, aka My Chemical Breakdance, and with me always is my emo co-host is.
You know, the only kid that's out here, Emo Roscoe.
And this is gonna be the first episode of Yo, Where the Captions At? Emo.